Welcome to the Forbidden Frontier.
We'll start with Three Eye Atlas.
I can't believe how much we've talked about Three Eye Atlas, and yet there's still so much we've like barely covered.
Well, yeah, we're like halfway through the whole process of it coming into the orbit and then leaving. So
to be clear, part of me wants this to be a spaceship, very much so, and then another part doesn't want it to be a spaceship at all because that would be really bad.
The more I find out about this thing, the less exciting it becomes.
The thing we need to think about is it's probably a comet, right? And the really scary news is there's probably a lot of these and we're just noticing them. That one video you sent and it showed the map of like how close it got to Mars. Like it got really close to Mars.
Close. And it's getting close to Jupiter on the way out as well.
And how fast it came into our solar system.
Yeah.
What if we get another one and it's booking towards us? We got what, a couple of months?
That's true.
You know, and this thing's going faster than anything normal. It's not doing anything that's unique to our solar system.
Closest approach to Earth is December 19th. So it's right around the corner. It's not anywhere close to hitting us or anything like that. But like you said, this is just the third that we've noticed now because we've got the technology to observe these things. So we're seeing them kind of more often, but maybe that was just the case this whole time. There's just stuff flying through space constantly and going through our orbit, and we just couldn't see it before. Now we can, even if it is just a comet. That's what I think it is. I don't think it's a mothership or whatever, even though that would be interesting. I'd like to see that. I think it is a comet, and I think it is common for these interstellar bodies to just be flying through space and coming through our orbit. This rock has been flying through space since before the Earth was formed. What has it experienced going through interstellar space? Throughout its entire existence, it's passed through 96 other solar systems. I hope that we're able to get our shit together and study it, but fucking NASA is dropping the ball and the government's dropping the ball and other governments are dropping the ball.
The thing that stood out when I was looking into it was that the tail was facing the sun, and I thought that was super weird. And the more I looked into it, it turns out that was actually explained because it was far enough away that the solar radiation or the solar wind coming from the sun wasn't enough to push off that gas that was building up. So it was building up on the warm side that was facing the sun. So to us, it looked like the tail was coming towards the sun. Obviously, that's very weird. But then, of course, as it approached and got closer and that solar wind started to increase, the tail, all that gas then started going to the other side. And it's like, then it acted normal, like a regular comet. All right, well, that was one of the things. The fact that it's all nickel still is pretty interesting. No iron, like that's weird.
Didn't they say, Adam, that usually it's a combination of nickel and iron pretty much all the time?
Yeah, because it's created from, a star exploding and it shoots out this iron nickel molten combo. So when you have a comet like this, normally you see signs of both together because that's how they're naturally found. The fact that it's just nickel is very weird. It's a nickelback. Yes.
It's nickel.
Chat.
Oh my God.
Look at this photograph.
Interstellar object Three Eye Atlas's tail appears to have changed directions. If the object is an alien spacecraft slowing down and the anti-tail is breaking thrust, then this change from the anti-tail to tail would be entirely expected near perihelion, Avi Loeb wrote, but there is a better explanation.
Well, and this actually brings up a really good point. I like Avi Loeb, but here's a perfect example of him being super hyperbolic and really trying to create this scene of it could be an alien. But it's like, actually, no, it's not breaking. It's perfectly explainable. It's ridiculous. And we're seeing that all the time.
I saw an interesting video where they were explaining it's not abnormal. This is only the third interstellar object that we've observed. So anything that these things are doing would be abnormal to us because
That's a good point.
never seen them before. Other solar systems are in the rest of the galaxy. It may not be abnormal at all. Scientifically proven that it is different in different solar systems, the different makeup, the different gravity wells, the way that things interact is different.
Chemistry does different things.
I think there's a lot of weird things that you can observe. It's very strange, the trajectory coming in. It's coming in close to a lot of these planets. Like, is it trying to hide itself behind the sun? Does it have a tail? It doesn't have a tail. No, wait, it does have a tail. Now the tail's changing. I think all these things are very abnormal to us. It's easy to go like, oh my gosh, it's aliens. I think it's a comet. But hey,
yeah,
you can't rule it out. The universe is vast and unknowable.
No, I think this should be a giant wake-up call, and it won't be. And unfortunately, the wake-up call will be, God, what was the name of the meteor that burned up in 2013 over Russia? It's going to be something like that, but it's probably going to have to be over a major city in Europe or America. That was my personal wake-up call. Like, I never thought about meteors that much, and I obsessed over that video because there was so much of it. You got to see, like, in real time, the sound wave hit and break windows, and it was insanely loud, and it sounds like the sky's cracking open, and that was just a little one. This is like a serious threat. This is more of a serious threat than the temperature going up a degree or supposedly too much CO2.
Yeah.
This is the thing that should be the cause and bringing people together. And unfortunately, we're so reactionary as a society. This is our point where we have the technology to start working on finding a way to deflect these things. We can't blow them up. If you blow one up, it just goes back together, and then you basically have bird shot coming down at Earth. So we have to deflect it. We have to move it. We have to find a way to move it. And they did that test, and it kind of worked, but it kind of didn't.
No, it did. It was small. You know, imagine if it was a big object. It's like we wouldn't be able to
over a kilometer. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
How are we going to do that?
It's the plot of some book. It's all the countries get together to find, some giant hammer that they're going to have to send into space. Why not start working on that now? We waste so much fucking bullshit now. It's not just the asteroids and comets we're tracking within our solar system. It is now coming from outside our solar system pretty regularly. I would say 3 times in the last 7 years is pretty regularly. And there's a lot of great videos on what the Chicxulub meteor did to the dinosaurs and what damage it did, like within the first minutes
and for the years that followed.
And the lucky ones were the ones who got evaporated. The shock wave went around the world 7 or 8 times. The impact was felt on the other side of the planet. Oceans vaporized,
turned the sky to like fire for months.
Rain, fire. There's evidence of air bursts in the past in Jordan, just wiped out a town. Everybody got fucking melted or evaporated. And that was just an airburst of a little one.
So imagine something that is this large hitting Earth in the atmosphere, actually hitting Earth itself. Like it would be devastating.
Would literally punch a hole in the atmosphere. So everything in there would be absolute zero from space, like all the way to the surface of the planet. Then atmosphere comes back together. That that in itself will make a sound that will deafen you, right? If you're not blind and death.
Or frozen to death for that split second.
Burned to death.
Insane cosmic power that we are not taking seriously. But this is the 3rd time we've recently got this technology. This is a good direction that we're going. We're trying to get to the point where we could eventually affect these. Right now, it's just observing and then taking information. The interesting thing about it is, why are they not releasing these photos? They're still there taking photos. Why did they not release them immediately? They delayed on the observations. We have rovers on Mars. We had satellites that could observe it. Where's the close data that why don't we have that?
I have an answer. They could easily do that. They could easily send a skeleton crew in there to still provide people with these pictures. It is basically, we're not going to go to work because we're going to prove that the government shutdown is terrible.
Trump is bad.
To me, if you're a scientist, and maybe there are those scientists out there and they are doing this, even if I wasn't getting paid, I'd be like, this is what I've focused my entire life on.
This is why I became a scientist.
We're about to see an interstellar body that is billions of years old older than Earth, older than our solar system, older than our sun. Like, I'm going into work. Like, I'm gonna observe this, man. So maybe there are those people and they just haven't gotten through the system to get all the information out like they normally would if they weren't shut down or whatever. Why right now, when it is at this crucial moment, it got close to Mars, will we be able to get photos when it goes past Earth? When it leaves Jupiter with like Juno that might redirect itself out to Jupiter?
It's not even
just
NASA.
So many.
It's the European Space Agency.
Yeah, all of them. It's not
China,
just one.
China Space Agency. Like even some astrophotographers that I follow that take incredible pictures of the sun, of multiple comets that are also actually are going around right now. There's other comets that are like normal ones. You know, they're not getting any spotlight. These photographers are like, look at this great shot I got of this comet, and I'm like, why haven't you taken a picture of the interstellar object, 3i Atlas? No answer, no picture.
You in Europe, but we in America sink so much of our tax dollars into these programs, and they seem like monoliths who just can't fucking move. That's the
bureaucracy.
That's the incompetence of bureaucracy.
Because of the ecliptic plane and how it is dead shot along a 3 degree. Yeah. It's interesting. And like, what if it was from... I keep want to calling it Nibiru, but it's I forget the one that Mars used to maybe be paired with that blew up.
So I was looking it up, and I just Googled planet that blew up near Mars.
Yeah,
that made asteroid field. The fucking AI knows what I mean, and they're like, there was no planet. So I put like, theorized in front of it, and it gives me the name Phaeton, right? But it's
Phaeton. That's it. Yeah, Phaeton.
AI is trained by people, by biased people. When it's
facts.
Like,
so true.
It came in at the same, I mean, relatively, but at the same plane as our solar system. Like, what's the chances of that?
I want to be impressed by that, but now that I've done more research, it's not actually as crazy as it sounds, because our whole solar system, ecliptic plane, right? Then you step out, the Milky Way galaxy that we're in is also essentially on the same kind of plane. The thin disk versus the thick disk. Now they say that 3i Atlas came from one of the upper thick disk, which would have explained the 3 degree entrance. That's not as crazy. It's not as chaotic. So things can last a lot longer. They can be billions of years old without hitting anything, because that's less traumatizing in those areas, because there's less things there to hit. But look at
Oumuamua. Like came in at a different.
That came from like a completely different galaxy, basically.
Above or below
us.
That's
what's so cool to me is that we're going to be seeing
galaxy.
More of this.
Could have been, because it makes more sense that 3i Atlas came from our galaxy, because it came along the ecliptic plane, which is balanced with the Milky Way galaxy. It was also an big, huge ecliptic plane. It's just this big, huge disk.
It came from like the center of the galaxy, where it's like super dense star-wise. Other solar systems, which means more possibility it could be coming from solar systems that have life. Could it be some kind of big?
So that not from the center. Actually, it pinpoints where it came from. See how it's like a little higher, a little to the left. So it's not exactly the center. We don't know what's at the center, right? Isn't it?
No,
massive black hole. We think
possible black hole. There's other theories too.
It's the oldest area too of the system.
Probably just everything just blown up,
and the stars are
destroyed.
Close, right?
Just getting. But if we're expanding, all space objects are distancing themselves slowly from each other. Are we distancing from the black hole at the center? Wouldn't it be sucking all the planets in and not out?
Well, something's keeping the galaxy together.
Right.
So that has to be gravity. Right. So it's either is it supernova in the middle or black hole?
I thought it was just a super massive black hole in the center.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. But there are other theories out there.
This whole alien conversation almost feels like it is a distraction from the fear of there are objects that can come and destroy us like that. You know, it reminds me of the Adam and Eve story, and how the CIA redacted that to try to keep that out of the general zeitgeist conversation of society. Like, if society found out, like, hey, every 10,000, 15,000 years, all humans almost die off because of calamities that happen, whether it be a micronova. People would kind of go crazy and society might crumble. The moral fabric of our lives would potentially unravel. And it feels like the conversation is about, is this thing an alien or not? And as Gary was pointing out earlier, it shouldn't be about aliens, although wouldn't that be crazy? Yeah, of
That'd
course.
be cool.
But
Yeah,
the conversation be, hey, at any moment, anything could come in and barrel towards us and destroy us and just absolutely shred Earth, and we could be wiped out. No one's mentioned that before.
I think it's
all
because
of the things I've seen.
Most people, it's more, I don't know, exciting, romantic to think, oh, whoa, what if it's, and romantic in the uppercase are romantic, of the idea of going, oh, there could be another space life form that comes into our galaxy and visits us, and like that's more of an exciting thing to think of than to, yeah, there's bullets just flying through space and one could hit us at random. Like, I'd rather it be aliens almost at that point. We should be thinking about that more, and I'm sure that they are thinking about that more and more, and we're at a level where we can't quite do anything about it yet, but we're moving in that direction, and it's exciting to get more data on these interstellar bodies that fly through, and maybe this is the first of many. We just got the third one.
It's just that we know of,
documented.
Yeah, so far that we know of.
So
I wonder
far.
if they're going to increase, and if they're going to be along the same trajectories. You know, are we going to have more coming from this direction? Is this just the first in a wave? Like a Muamua, you see, it was a completely different path. Came from up, if there is an up in space.
Yeah, relatively to us.
What is up?
Yeah,
right.
We're not alone. There is life in the universe. Whether we'll see it or not, I'm not sure. I am convinced it's here. Our friend Ryan brings up, why would they come all this way? And well, if they're just observing us and they're millions of years, even hundreds of thousands of years ahead of us technologically, they probably have ways of not being noticed. Pretty easy ways of not being noticed. There is species of animals who will never come across a human in their lives. How would we notice something we don't understand at all? Could it be interdimensional? Could it be from space? We don't know. Could it be a more ancient version of us or another being that evolved on this planet? There's been plenty of time, by the way.
That's what's hard to tell.
If I go to the zoo, I don't really care to hide myself from the animals that I'm observing.
That's true.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like,
or
what
explorers.
Are they gonna
do? If you think explorers, when they go to the Amazon or when they went there, hundreds of years ago, and they would just go through the jungle and meet they'd make contact, and they wouldn't be afraid to make contact. The Spaniards showed up with all the boats and were like, yo, like, we're gonna take your shit. I feel like it would be more like that. I don't think that they would be so like afraid, but it's hard to know because
we're not a threat to anybody. And if they're that advanced,
why would they hide?
They don't need any of our resources. They just don't. Maybe our women, but I think it would just be, we're just, we're going to assess these things down here in this little ant colony. And if they become a threat, then, we'll make ourselves known. And when we started blowing up atomic and nuclear bombs, that's when a lot of stuff started happening. And that would probably be a marker for them. Okay, they've reached this. It's not first contact. Okay, now it's first observation. We're going to really start watching these people, because if they come out here, are they going to start blowing us up?
Yeah.
That's something that I want to know if that's actually true or not. Did they only start showing up when we split the atom? Or
no,
were
they've been
they
showing up
here
for thousands of years, but
exactly
it increased, observations increased because we were looking for one.
But so did technology, though. Our technological advances over the past 100 years since the splitting the atom.
When we blew up the first atom bomb and took out Japan, it was only a couple of years later we started creating 3-letter agencies like the CIA and the NSA. That all started happening in 1947. So it's an amazing
World War II.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They get all the Nazi scientists over and go, hey, let's go to the moon. Let's start making 3-letter agencies. Start locking things down.
But
start affecting other countries.
Off with Ralph Arnold and but there were observations going back thousands of years.
Yeah, there's medieval paintings and
Yeah.
reports from a long time ago.
Now that I think about it, that was also a consolidation of all information at that point, because Germany fell, and like America got their scientists, and the Soviets, we were aligned with them to take out the Nazis. So it's kind of like right after that, there was just an influx of like everyone's on the same page. We all know this information. And then boom, all these 3-letter agencies started appearing as well.
Well, and then we separated. So we were all on the same team to take out the Nazis. Then we took the Nazis out as a team, America and Russia and the UK. And then when we took the Nazis out, we said, okay, well, we're going to put some of them in prison, but also, hey, what if we could have some of your scientists? And then Russia also was like, we want some of your scientists too. So then we separated. We all have all this information. We took all the knowledge that was absorbed by Nazi scientists and all that crap. And then we consolidated it and then separated. And then now it's been a Cold War between the two of us, for several decades after that, during the time while they were setting up all the 3-letter agencies, CIA, NSA, the KGB, to fight each other in the information war. So it's been an information war ever since. And that's what all the proxy wars are. It's us and Russia fighting each other to get to what ends.
Ideological ends, but there's something else.
That's what I mean.
Yeah. As far as 3i Atlas is concerned, it's going to go pretty soon, but I think it's nearing its closest. Again, it's on the other side of the sun.
October 29th, we will see it reemerge. The coronal mass ejections from the sun have hit it as well, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah, and it was a big CME. Should get some sort of damage. Shout out to Stefan Burns. He's got a good channel.
Here we have our CC01 coronagraph view of the sun from the GOES-19 satellite in geostationary orbit. And we use these sort of coronagraphs to see what's happening with the sun in terms of solar wind outflows and solar storm launches. It's a space weather forecasting tool. You'll see the stars in the background. See these fixed points of light? Those are the background stars. They are moving because this is fixed on the sun and we're rotating around the sun. This red circle is put around 3i Atlas. This news, this observation of 3i Atlas in the GOES-19 CCR1 view was first put out by amateur astronomer Worchate Boomplod. He's from Thailand. He's discovered a bunch of comets and chronograph imagery across the years, and he took the raw data and processed it and found 3i Atlas in its expected location back on the 18th, 19th of October. And once I saw that, I went ahead and downloaded the past 7 days, and I was able to locate 3i Atlas specifically on the edges of the chronograph. We see the zoomed in view there. It's very faint. I was super punched in Premiere Pro and tracking this thing, but you will notice that it is moving faster than the normal retrograde motion of the stars, because 3i Atlas is also moving retrograde. So it's moving the direction of the night sky as viewed from Earth, but it's moving at its own velocity, about 66, 67 kilometers per second right now. Again, its perihelion will be 68 kilometers per second at the end of October. And then we see it picked up again here. So this fits right in line with where we expect 3i Atlas to be based off of its orbital trajectory and just all the positional data that we have for it.
That makes me like 100% believe it's a comet at this point.
It's consistent leaving. Yeah, it hasn't changed direction or done anything that a comet can't do. That was the video I watched. He broke down why the 8 things that Avi listed were not completely impossible for a comet to do. It's interesting that they're doing it. It's doing all of those, but a comet can do all of those. It's interesting to see them do it all at the same time. When it gets the closest to the sun, that's when the sun ejects.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Is the sun some kind of protector? It's like a big turret that shoots things.
So you see it right there.
Really hot,
It's coming in.
Yeah.
Boom. Was it good for you?
I don't know if this is something that we've observed where comets have come near the sun and they tend to get CMEs sent towards them.
Is it like a gravity shift that it gets close enough then it breaks like some kind of, I don't know, aura around the sun and the sun mass ejects at it?
sun ejaculates.
Ejaculates? There.
CME. I mean, what's the E stand for? You know,
Hey.
That one's a big one too, coming at it now.
That's what she said.
That's crazy.
On its way out, it's like, pfft.
Yeah.
Yep. Ben from Suspicious Observers was all over the sun ejaculation. I know approximately 70% of the people actively monitoring Comet Atlas. It is a comet. It is not slowing down or doing anything but behaving exactly like a comet. These headlines you are reading are literally made up, fabricated out of nothingness. I'm so sorry to all of you who have emotions invested in this, but it is 100% nothing.
Yeah, and it's not just headlines either. There's these AI videos of Michio Kaku just being generated nonstop. Like, it's great. It's like saying the wildest stuff, and it's just like all these people are like, and they're going viral on X, and I'm like, they're all fake. They're fake videos. Like, oh my gosh,
it's sad because it is enough for it to be fascinating and exciting for it to just be a comment. Just a comment on its own, coming from far off distances across time and space, possibly new makeups of materials that we, like, that is enough for it to be extremely fascinating, and I want to see more of it. It doesn't have to be an alien. It doesn't have to be a starship.
It'd be cool, but
it would be cool for sure.
It's not,
but it doesn't have to be interesting.